Can we just be kids again? Laughing, holding hands, merry-go-round romance, jump into forever land. No matter the quest, I'm with you to the end. Ooh, through the tears and smiles, rain, sunshine, the clouds. Ooh, can we just thank God for the middle? Cause only death can part, but thank God for now.
Baby, let's have a scene it now. We can do the dash show, we can slow down. I think we found our rhythm now. Only death could part us, but thank God for now. All is fair in love and war, okay, I know that's true. Some may pray on us, but we just pray through. Baby, let's take the scene. We can do the dash show, we can slow down. What if we laughed at the things the enemy tried to kill us with? Refuse to hold a grudge even for a little bit.
Welcome to the Til Death Do Us podcast, episode 5, and we are in for a treat. Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
I'm excited about this one, right? We're here in the beautiful Tampa Bay. Just exploring our city. I believe we have a couple with us that not only explore the city well, but they entertain the city well too. Like they are, I don't want to say they're in these streets, but
They in these streets.
They're not outside though.
No.
I think that the outside is negative.
Right,
But
we
in
outside
the streets, I don't know. They're not for the streets. Anyway,
Gotcha.
we have the Smiths with us today, Jason and Shelby Smith, and I know that they have artist names. You know, I'll
They're
let
artists,
them.
they're creatives.
They're creatives. I will let them introduce those names, but officially the Smiths,
Yes,
Jason
sir.
and Shelby, and we're so excited about today, right? Getting this in.
Yep.
I know they're ready for it, and so just tell us a little bit about who you guys are, where you guys met, how long you've been married, you know.
Well, I will let you go first since you claim to have the official story. Go ahead.
Okay, because it's the real story. So let me tell you. So we met in 2017. There used to be this really, really dope like Sunday night afternoon hip hop like party situation down at Crowbar where like B-boys and B-girls would come out and like you would just hear some really good music and just vibe. So it was a thing for like artists to go there.
Okay.
And so that is where we met. I met thinking I was meeting a fellow musician. A lot of my coworkers at the time were telling me, you don't know Jinx, you should know Jinx. You know, he does music, you do music, you guys should know each other. And I was like, okay, cool. So we met, and I like to say that I was bamboozled.
Okay.
Because because I thought so what happened next was he invited me out to one of his shows. He was like, hey, you know, I have this show coming up. Let me send you the flyer. Give me your number so I can send you the flyer.
See what you did
Nice.
there, Jinx.
And I was like, yeah, whatever, no big deal. Like, okay. And yeah, I was the only one he invited.
Oh,
So-
Sorry.
Oh, so I want to hear
yeah.
version 2. So how did y'all meet, Jinx?
Okay, so she left out a lot, right?
Okay.
So it started before the party, before Ybor. It started one day in the cafeteria at work when I
Okay.
looked over in the lunchroom and I saw her walking away.
Yeah, ooh.
And she glanced at me, and there was like this magical, just
I
sparkles
like this
that was
version.
just.
It's a different
I like this
every
version.
time.
Right. No, she didn't see me, but I definitely saw her. So that happened, and then we did actually officially meet at Crowbar, the place that she's referring to. So when I did get a chance to meet her through those mutual friends, it was like fireworks inside of me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm finally getting to get introduced to this woman. There was also a really great hug that she gave me that night that I will never forget. She claims she doesn't remember what the hug was like, but
Jinx said, I remember.
I remember. So
Have you washed that sweater yet?
no, nah, just kidding.
Okay.
I don't even remember what I was wearing, but no. So that definitely happened. So that part was correct, and I definitely did invite her. Again, sorry, not sorry. I definitely invited her to my show. I thought by that point it was kind of obvious, like, hey, I'm kind of interested. But in hindsight, I do realize that, hey, she's looking for somebody to connect with on a musical point of view. So
So
I could
she
see
was
how-
thinking business. You was thinking business relationship.
for sure, for sure.
Oh, wow.
So it's crazy because when I got off the stage and like sat next to her, it was just us two at the table, and she was like, don't you have other friends here? I'm like,
Exact words.
Yes, probably.
something like that.
Knowing me, probably yes.
She didn't say those words to me. I only know that's what she was thinking because when we talk about it now. No, she was nice. She was polite and stuff like that. But I could tell she was a little uncomfortable. Yeah. But here we are.
Apparently it worked.
So met in 2017. When did you officially get married?
So we got married in 2021. Definitely the pandemic worked out in our favor. I say that because neither one of us wanted to have like a big wedding or anything like that. So we found a lady that was able to marry us at her property. She has like a whole lake situation. So it was just us two and her, as well as the camera people. Yeah.
We had a camera guy.
Yeah, camera guy. Yeah.
My big thing was it was important to me that the people that were at the ceremony were the people that were putting the work into the marriage. And I was like, oh, well, that's just us. So yeah, it was just us. Yeah.
So it was important that the people at the ceremony were the people putting the work into the marriage, and that was us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just them two.
Yep. So
We have a lot of family with a lot of opinions.
I was going to say, how did your family take that?
I think my parents expected it from me, knowing their child. They were like, that checks out.
yeah, and I know my family is just like super liberal when it comes to that stuff. So they were just happy for us at the end of the day. So they love Shelby. So
has there been like talks of like a post celebration, like of a reception?
We may have sold a dream of a 1 year celebration. We sure did. Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely had thoughts of having a 1 year celebration to kind of compensate for not having a big wedding. But when it came down to it, it was we just decided to just do our own thing. And
we felt like we did the thing.
We did.
It was already done. So.
Yeah.
So 2021 married. So that means you guys have been married for what? 4 years now.
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
I'm
Still using fingers.
not to count the fingers while your wife is
Still using fingers. Still using
Rule
the
number
fingers.
one, no.
But still on one hand.
Right.
They say once you get on the second hand, you finally have a hold on what marriage is.
Wow. Well,
Y'all ain't never heard that before, have you?
No.
Me neither. I don't even know who they are.
Did you just make that up?
You heard
I've
that
heard
before?
that before.
Don't take my copyrights. I think that was authentic to the moment. Once you hit two hands,
he wanted
you
to drop
finally
bars.
you finally have a hold on marriage, right?
I like that.
It's nice though.
so
It's
it's
nice.
like one full hand, like a grip.
You got a grip. Then once you hit the second hand, you got a hold on it.
Got it. All right.
I
Sure.
didn't hear that one. Grip.
I also made that up. So.
Okay.
You also made that up.
Creatives. We're talking to creatives.
I just went with it.
But talk about just some exciting moments, right? I always think of like just memorable moments. What has been some memorable moments in those 5 years? Considering you did start like on the tail end of a pandemic, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of memorable moments. Like we like to travel a lot. So there's a lot of places that we've been to that I feel like, I don't know, just been really super exciting. Whether it's when we went to DC, whether it's California. I love New Orleans. That's one of my favorite places to go, and we enjoy our time there. Just anywhere that has like a lot of music, culture, and things like that. I think traveling has been one of the most exciting parts of our relationship.
We hit like a streak of, there was like 3 trips we went on back to back where like the day we got there was the day it opened up from the pandemic. Like we were intentionally traveling, trying to do like, low key and like nobody's gonna be outside and it's gonna be great. We can explore. And it was like Puerto Rico opens like, and so everybody's outside the weekend we're like landing. And I'm like, okay, same thing happened in DC, same thing happened in New Orleans. So I literally was walking on Bourbon Street, had no idea. I was like,
There's a lot of people out
this is the ghetto. Why is there horse poop in the road? So yeah, it was good. Like we still made like a good time of it. We got to enjoy our time together, so that was fun.
Yeah, and I think we go back and forth as to like what our favorite trip was. But now that she mentions Puerto Rico, that was so dope. Like the rainforest, like she really impressed me. Like prior to meeting, not to throw you out there like this, but prior to meeting her. She was not outdoorsy or anything like that. When I tell you this girl was like climbing mountains, it feels like, and like
I'm competitive.
Yes,
So.
she's competitive. So
The
there's
tour
that.
guy said I was climbing better than him. That's all I needed. that was.
That's
that
fine.
And so
was
do you
from
feel
there.
like there's been an evolution since y'all got married?
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
in a lot of different ways, for sure.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
A lot of different ways, very general. In what specific ways are we speaking of this evolution? So we got outdoorsy.
The whole fitness thing, we can
Yeah.
start there. Like that has been really dope to see for both of us. But I really love how Shelby has taken on her journey when it comes to biking and now getting into more running and just, that's been dope to see. I love to see that. What else? Just even in her artistry, like that too.
Yeah.
I've seen her grow from not being timid, but just like really trying to find her way as an artist.
Yeah.
But now, like every time I see you, she just gets better and better and better. I'm like, wow, you are just such an amazing being, the most talented person. You just keep getting better. So stuff like that.
Y'all so cute.
I'm over here like, oh, I'm over here smiling. He's like, babe, did I do it? Did I do it?
And just as a human being, like I know that from the time that I met her, I talked about like being
Yeah.
enamored by her beauty, but just like actually getting to know her as a person, I
Yeah.
knew deep down inside even despite whatever things that she felt like she had to work on, I knew
Yeah.
underneath that was an amazing person. And to continue to see that manifest itself through her growth has been really dope. So
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Which I always thought was so inspiring just about you guys is to see the authentic like joy. Obviously, I've met you guys like together, and at no point have I ever seen like it be something you're doing or she's doing where there isn't like this cohesive like, hey, this is something in some way, some shape, we're going to do this like together.
Yeah.
I mean, and how would you guys even start to like describe that in comparison to like how culture almost even paints out marriage to be now, right?
I think it's because we're friends 1st. Like we built a very solid friendship. We truly enjoy each other's company. Like we like the same things. Just like if I were to go like hang out with somebody, like he would be somebody that I would just like hang out with and have a good time with. So that helps to have that foundation
Yeah.
of just like, I enjoy your company. We can go do the same things and have like a good time and like nobody's tired of each
Yeah.
other, that kind of thing. So I
And
think,
what did like the road to discovering that look like?
it started with Star Wars. I'm just going to tell you.
Let's go.
We were like, oh, you're a nerd. I'm also a nerd. And it kind of just like went from there. Like we already had like the music thing going. So I think that was like an easy connection. But I just think like the more we learned about each other and the more like layers we pulled back, we were like, oh, we actually have similar like things as far as like values, interests, whatever. And then you get a little bit deeper and it's like, oh, the things that I want to do in my life, like they started to like slowly like align more and more and more. And it was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is not just like a good friend. This is not just like a boyfriend. This is like, I think I'm supposed to be with this person. Like, I think God is doing this on purpose. And I had never experienced that before. So I was like, oh, this is more intentional. And I see more value than just what I can get out of this relationship. So I think that kind of changed the
cool.
perspective for me.
No, that's
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that because as I get older, I'll be honest with you, my desire to grow newer relationships outside of course, like certain pockets and stuff
Yeah.
like that, kind of dwindles. So the fact that like I'm not tired of her at this point, like I enjoy her more and more each day. Like I feel like that's definitely spot on. And what you said about like just like being in alignment when you guys see us and stuff like that. The important thing also to realize is there's a lot of work that has to be done on the back end of that. Like when we show up, we're showing up as okay. We talked about these certain things. We may have even argued about these certain things, but it's important that when we show up that we are in alignment in the proper way. So yeah.
And how do you balance that, right? I'm so used to, and I know a lot of people that they really do throw like, quote, the baby out with the bathwater, like all the time.
Yeah.
Right. And take like just moments and take times and allow them to be like an anchor to everything. And it's like, it's amazing to me because in a relationship, well, a marriage, right? As new, I guess it's still new to me. When I would hit 5 years, I felt like it was real. Like, nah, this is real, bro. Like, this is real. Some people don't even get here.
Yeah.
Right.
So I always stood like, I always stood 10 toes down on my numbers. You know, I know people be like, man, not wait till you hit 15 or wait till you're 20. I'm like, no, my 5 is real.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm 10
A
toes.
lot of emphasis in that.
You know, like real, like some real
Stuff happening.
overcoming.
Yeah. Okay.
But what would you say to like how you balance those moments out? And I would say, considering that like there isn't like 20 years to look at, right?
I would say one thing I always that resonates in my head when we have these conversations, like intimately or together. Shelby always is reminding me that, hey, we're not going anywhere. Like this is a
So
relationship.
y'all got the contract too.
Yeah, we got the contract. This is something. This is something that we committed to ourselves and to God. You know what I'm saying? Like, so whatever we're working through, like that's the foundation, right? And it's also beautiful when it's not. That's true, but also that's our desire is for us to continue to push forward and balance it out. I don't know. What would you say?
Yeah, I think that it's a very intentional decision that you make together, of course, but also as an individual. So I think it was always important to me, like you're saying, like if we're going, like if we're having a difficult conversation or whatever the case is, and we know we're about to go somewhere, like I don't want people knowing my business.
That's
like,
right.
period. No one should know what's going on in my marriage. And if I didn't say it to you, then like there's no way you know, right? And so I put that very high on like my priority. And so what that means is like, well, if that's what you want, Shelby, then you can't go in somewhere with your face tore up. Like you just can't do that. Like you have to like process through your emotions when you can process through them. If that means you have to put your feelings aside to show up in this moment, then that's what you do.
That's good.
And then you can always handle it later. Like that's the
Right.
thing I learned. Like
Yeah.
there's always a later. Like I can always come back to this. And a lot of times it's better when I do come back to it.
Right.
And then I have to also recognize that like this conversation is panning out the way it is because obviously God wanted it to happen that way. So maybe this is a very intentional pause or like pulling me out of a situation on purpose or whatever the case is so I can come back to it like when it makes sense, when I've cooled off, when I've processed through my emotions. And a lot of times what will happen is in that break of like when the conversation pauses and picks back up, there's things that you're more aware of unintentionally because you're so sensitive. So now
Yeah.
you're looking for stuff. It's like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can take that into this conversation. Or, you know, I didn't think about that. And maybe that's how I actually feel. But what I said was this. And so you kind of get to process a little bit more and then take that back.
Yeah.
There were so many bars in what you just said that I'm like, okay, first dating back. You said so. That's top notch, right? Like understanding that if I desire to keep, I'm gonna say like what's going on in my marriage, then I shouldn't just be openly wearing my marriage in front of others.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, she definitely answered that question better than I did.
That's hilarious.
First
It's not
of
a competition.
You said you're competitive, so here we
I
are.
am. But
No, but definitely, that's definitely true that you don't want to just like be wearing your marriage like openly for everybody. It's just because that gets dangerous. We definitely don't like to get into spaces where people have opinions that are not, you know, beneficial to us.
Right.
So we're very careful about that, even down to who we speak to about certain things and conversations we have and how we show up. Yeah, we're very intentional about protecting our
Because you
little
guys
circle.
are in a lot of spaces together too.
Oh, for sure.
on
It's-
purpose.
I like that. She said on purpose.
I love that, right?
Yeah.
And what do you mean by that?
People see me and they see him and vice versa. And so there's never anything to confuse. Honestly, I'm surprised when people are like, wait, you guys are married? It's like, yeah, you know, everybody else knows. So
Right.
I don't know. I think it's just an intentional association so people don't have to wonder or
Wow.
guess
That's good.
or assume or fill in blanks, all of those things.
I like that.
Yeah, there's definitely anytime I show up anywhere, oh, where's Shelby? How's she doing? Or just tell her I said hi or just anything like, because they're so used to us being like a collective. So even when we're not together, we're still together for sure. Yeah.
Because your artistry with your music, I've seen you post her, and I'm like, oh, and I notice you guys are always together when it's time to.
Yeah.
For the most part, I've always seen you with her.
He also he helped a ton with my music. Is the thing. Like when I tell people Jinx is a legend, like
he inserted himself in your life. I'm starting to really understand what's happening now.
But when you say it like that,
Wait.
Nobody else is gonna run your sound.
I get it. Pastor Bryan is always on another.
I'm seeing what happened here.
Like, look, you need a sound guy? No, I got it. Don't worry about it.
No, my man said he's gonna play this game to win. He showed up, and the first thing he said was, "Let me invite you. Let me make a business exchange to turn this into a business relationship." Because Jinx is the sound man. Mm-hmm. What else do you write?
I help her with her booking.
Help her with the booking.
Yeah.
So you know where she at. When she need to be there.
Don't worry, I'll take her. Yeah, look, I'll drive you. You don't need a car service.
He's the chauffeur.
Yeah, no, but that's important because, like, all jokes aside, like, what you're saying is true, but all jokes aside, though, like, I know that her music and her artistry is something that she's very passionate about.
Yeah.
So if I can support her
I love it.
in a lot of different ways like that and just have her just show up and just enjoy herself, you know what I mean? Like, if I could take the brunt of that stress, I'm not perfect all the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mess up a lot of the times, and she'll definitely help me get through that, but as much as I can do to take that weight off of her, to allow her to do what she enjoys to do, you know?
And would you say that's something that, like, how did you cultivate that? Right? Like, is that something you observed? Is that something that you like, I'm going to come into this marriage, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do?
So what he's not saying is that he is very giving. Like, he just does that. Like, he likes to serve.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I had to, like, ask him, except with the booking thing. Like, I normally would do that, and I had to be like, look, I'm not managing this well. Can you please help me? But everything else, he's like, yeah, like, obviously I'm doing that. I already loaded up the car. What are you talking about? Right. So that's just his nature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. Yeah, definitely, for sure. I think that's my nature, even with my friends, with family and stuff like that. But I think even more so when it comes to Shelby. So, yeah.
For any single women watching out there today, do you have any brothers or
I have
older?
one brother, but he's
married already.
Not married, but he's locked in.
He's locked in.
He's locked in.
He's also got he's like the complete opposite of Jason.
Oh, so never mind. Take him
not
off.
in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
Wait,
It's
locked
just
in or
funny to
locked
see.
up?
No.
Wait, which one is it?
No.
Nah, my brother outside. He's free, but but nah, he's like me in a lot of different ways. He's also pretty giving.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just more of a rebel than I am, definitely. But he's a good guy.
But no, where did you? I want to know. Like, was this something you observed?
Like your
something you've
parents,
cultivated, right?
Yeah, I will definitely say. I was gonna bring that in, but I didn't know if it was relevant. But definitely, my parents are definitely very giving people. Like,
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know if it's a Caribbean thing or what it is, but there was never a time where you can just come over our house and not like be offered something to drink or some food or something like that. Like, so even when people come to my house, I'm like, hey, you want something to eat? Want something to drink? Like, it's just in our nature.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
So my mother's Jamaican and my father's Bahamian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was always been trying to figure out, like, why is Jason always? So I have fans of my barbecue, and I was always trying to figure out, like, why is he always trying to get people who are fans of my barbecue to become fans of his barbecue? Like, these people are already full.
Listen,
But like why are you? Then I'm getting phone calls about like stuff you done cooked at your house, and you're like giving it out: brisket for free, ribs for free, sausage for free. Come on over. I have plates of meat for free.
Hey man, listen, it's not intentional. It's not like intentionally a threat, but if that's what's happening, I can't control what people are saying.
It's
like,
just who you are. It's you're a generous person.
For sure.
Yeah. So
you're not when you wasn't coming for me. You were just being generous.
At some point, when you started coming for me, then I had to turn it up a little bit. Like, okay, I see what he's doing here.
So what happened was we went to Austin. That's all that happened.
Oh yeah, Austin changed my life.
Yeah.
That was another one of our trips that was fantastic. They definitely have the best barbecue in my opinion. But
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, so would you say that's something that you like? And I'm saying this because like that is what a lot of, and would you say a lot of people, or I would say both male and female, right? They desire, husbands and wife desires to be in like just a relationship in a marriage where it feels like they're serving each other. And would you say that's something that you like sought out, or would you say that's like, man, like it just became a part of how you guys were together?
Yeah, I wasn't seeking anything.
Uh-oh.
I was not seeking for like a relation. I was minding my business when we met. Mm-hmm. So it was just, that's why I'm saying like earlier when I was saying that like things aligned where I just knew it was God. I was like, I wasn't even looking for this man. Like he just popped up at the clear blue sky and we just get along. So I think that I had to learn a lot because I was not looking.
Yeah.
I had to understand like, okay, well, what do you actually value and like what is like what are you offering, right? Like what does that balance look like? So I think it worked out that that's just how his nature is, but it taught me in a way too because I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't doing it intentionally. I wasn't thinking like, oh, I should be this kind of wife and I should, do this. And I was never groomed like to be that. And so I didn't really prioritize that. And I had to learn that from watching him. Like I'm very observant. So I noticed like, oh, if he's doing something like, oh, that's him doing something because he wants to do it. I didn't ask him to do that. Oh, he does that consistently. Oh, that's a thing. Okay. So now I'm like, well, what am I doing? Right. So you know what I'm saying? So I think that I'm glad that he was built that way because it taught me to be better in that too.
But you do a great job for the record though. Like I think you help out a lot when it comes to just us.
I see what's going on here.
What?
Babe,
What's happening?
I think you are incredible. The way you serve in the household.
You don't have to compare
He was
yourself.
looking at her and he forgot we were even here.
You gotta remember, they're still in the honeymoon phase.
The honeymoon phase?
Yeah, we don't
When
have
it's brand new. I could tell that
it?
they I love you. We got 15 years. They got 4. It's Google. Hearts are going all around them. I have hearts too, but it's just different. They're new.
What's different in our hearts?
I can't explain it. It's just different. It's just different.
He's really
They're
for an
I would
answer.
call them newlyweds. They're newlyweds.
So what do you guys think when you hear the honeymoon phase? Like what goes through your heads?
I honestly, I don't know. It's hard for me to subscribe to any of it, just the way my brain works.
Laughing, holding hands, merry-go-round romance, jump into forever.